How's it going, everybody? This is Siri here, and we have the gameplay footage right now for the Frozen Dimension. Now, as you see, it's going to be playing in the background as I'm discussing this, and there's a lot of good. There's also a lot of bad regarding the Frozen Dimension. The good part is this does feel like a straight-up Dark Dimension, which we've been asking for some very challenging endgame content to where we don't have to go in and auto it all the time. Now, the characters I'm using that you see on here are going to be the full Orcus team. They are purple ISO. They're all 7 red, so there's no diamonds on them. So some of this content's going to be a lot easier. My goal while I was filming this was to see if I could try to get through this without using any of the absolute A-Force characters. Because of how Kahori actually is in the game, Ms. Marvel Classic and everything, this is obviously going to be tailored more to them on this side of the Frozen Dimension. The Annihilator side was a walk in the park. I autoed the entire thing, and I felt it really wasn't worth showing that footage just because of how easy it actually was. The absolute A-Force tech side, that is fairly easy on the first 4 nodes, the first section that I'll call it. I was able to get through that fairly easy. There were some challenging parts on there, which I really did appreciate. However, when you get to the second and third section, mainly that second section, you really feel the difficulty ramp up. Now, those characters, when we get there, are going to be about level 85 G16, so I was thinking, hey, this really shouldn't be that difficult. Now, if you do have Kahori unlocked, which I always recommended that you should at least core for her, get that 3-star unlock on her, because she is so impactful. I think it is doable to where you can actually use the Orcus team, take out one of the members, throw Kahori in there, and I think you will be okay. The one I would probably take out would maybe be Scientist Supreme. Omega Sentinel, she felt very impactful to how she was doing her retaliates, and if you do have diamonds on her, you're really going to appreciate the damage that she does end up bringing, where it's the out-of-turn damage. She was wrecking a lot of characters. She was kind of an MVP. Nimrod, when he got his special off, it just wiped the entire battlefield. It felt really good to be able to get those abilities off. Sentinel, having it to where you had that pre-taunt on the field, I think that was okay. Now, this portion right here that you're looking at, there is going to be that Mephisto, and you see I already have 1 exhaust mechanic on there. Those do carry over. So when I made it to that second section, I started off where I had 2 exhausts on me, and I was really feeling the exhaust that was coming my way. This node here really wasn't too bad. There was a lot of the Cloak and Dagger, Illuminati, and as you see, I was able to get through those fairly easily. The Super Scrolls, you do have to be mindful of when you throw those negative effects out there, because he does ramp up, and it's more of a death by 1,000 paper cut is kind of how I picture and imagine this going. Now, one of the important things that they kind of left out is the war packs are active on here. There's no indication at all to where there are war abilities going on for the other side. So when we make it to the next node, I believe it's this node right here, you see how I have this set as 1 times speed. I'm going to pause it right here. So what we have here, there are 2 ancient ones on here. They do not have their awakened abilities. The Sasquatch, he does have his war defense. When he does his ultimate on us, it does put trauma out there. And you see the full turn meter bars that you have on the other side of the field. So I'm going to hit play right now, and we're going to kind of go through this. This ancient one has 115 speed. This one's 122 speed. Now, the leaders are 101 and 107 speed that you see on the board right here. The Sasquatch is 95 speed and 100 speed. So the turns that they end up getting, those ancient ones end up getting their specials off, flipping our positive effects. The Iron Patriot comes in. This is the first difficult node. This is the start of that second section that we have on there. And I was trying to get through to where I could try to one-shot these so I can say, hey, it is doable to be able to one-shot these. Now, maybe when we got the diamonds on here, but you see all of the turns the old man Logan's taking right now, it's really hard to kill him twice because of they start lapping us. All of the turn meters that keep coming in. Now there was able to get a very good hit in from the Sentinel. Now we have a Green Goblin Classic, a Thanos Endgame, a Dakin. The Cabal team is still out on the field as well. So I decided to just see how many heals it takes to really get through the Absolute A-Force sections. Now, the very last 2 nodes for Section 3, I didn't end up doing those because you do need 3 Absolute A-Force, so you have to make sure you cord for Kahori is who I would recommend doing for that. And then from there, try to decide, is the juice worth the squeeze? Are the rewards actually worth what you're putting into this? Because for how many turns the team is taking, and I was sitting there for almost a minute, it felt like, as the enemy was taking 2 turns, sometimes 3 to my 1 turn, because they'd come in, have the preloaded speed bar, they'd have speed up, I'd have slow and trauma, and I would just sit there stunned as you're kind of looking at right now. Now, I'm going to start counting off on the top right-hand section how many heals this does end up taking, because I'm about to wipe right here. The Omega Sentinel does keep coming back, and she does start doing some damage to the old man Logan, which I found pretty amusing, that she was basically taking him out on her own with the out of turn damage that you're going to see on here. As far as the frozen dimension, I don't know how long this is going to last. I want to say it's 1 to 2 weeks long. So you do have plenty of time to be able to do your boring, trying to get through this. Depending on what the rewards are, maybe do your 50 core refreshes if you have to, or even better yet, we've had a few pocket dimensions in the past where we had about 1,000 of the pocket dimension heals. If they didn't take those away, then you can start using those heals to get through this. I don't think that they reset those pocket dimension heals that we had in the past, because it was a pocket dimension, temporal dimension. Now we have a frozen dimension. So we may be able to use those heals to our benefit for those people that don't have the absolute A-Force. Now, as you see on the screen right here, we did a full team heal at this time. We are able to make it through the rest of this node fairly easily after we did the one burn, because there's no old man Logan. We were able to kill the Thanos Endgame before he got his passive proc off. The Cosmic Ghost Riders came in with the pre-turn bar, same with the Zombie Juggernauts. We're going to be able to make it through this one fairly well. When you do get to the Section 2 and beyond, try to make sure that you have your abilities prepped for the following node. They don't do a lot of damage to you on Section 2. It's more the trauma with the bleeds that you have on you, so you kind of bleed out in that sense. Now, the following node actually isn't too bad. It looks bad because there's the 2 Black Knights on there. However, they don't pump out the max health damage that they do along with the trauma. However, the Man-Things are a pain when we get to these sections. There's going to be a node where there's 2 Man-Things, and they keep the barrier going on each other, and it was brutal to really get through that. The blades that's on here, along with the oaths, they do hurt you fairly well, so be mindful of the blades that you see that come down here. They do end up taking out my Nimrod that you see right there. Those are permakills, so Scientist Supreme isn't able to bring them back. Now, I was able to make it through this node without really wiping at all. So the first node in that Section 2 is very difficult. The second one actually isn't terrible. Then we go to the third node that I'm just gonna fast forward it a little bit here. Let's see. We're just gonna fast forward. Right here, we do have some Spider Weavers out on the field. We have a Panda Pool, Yellow Jackets, the Sasquatch doing his ultimate, getting trauma out there. That is very impactful. So do be mindful of those Sasquatches. They do hurt you mainly because of those traumas. So right here is the new section that we are at. So I'm going to let this play out. There's the Nightcrawler that we're going to kill. So right here, there's 2 Kate Bishops, there's 2 Pennies, there's the Apocalypse. Every time you see the Apocalypse, he is not empowered. So he's going to start by doing the special. Turn 2, he's going to do the ultimate, but he doesn't get the full turn meter on there. So you do have time to try to take him out. If he does punch you, if you are at full health, you will be able to live through it. So right there, I did lose my Lady Deathstrike. It wasn't due to the Apocalypse doing the Falcon Punch. So Scientist Supreme does have the RNG to be able to bring him back. The pennies on here do hurt you because of the flips and everything. Now this portion right here, when they come in, we have 2 of the onslaughts. We have 2 North Stars. So if you don't have your safeguard up, they are going to flip your buffs right there. There's also going to be the Captain Britain. So right off the bat, we get a double flip right there. The Craven starts going. So we do end up wiping, I believe, around this point because of those onslaughts causing those bleeds out there. So we're going to fast forward to where we end up getting to the heals 2 portion on here. We're just going to fast forward. So right here, we have a Lady Deathstrike that came back. We have our Sentinel, Nimrod came back. So we do have our full team right here. However, there's going to be the Eternals, Iron Patriot, 2 Pennies, 2 Gladiators, and the Apocalypse. And as you see, they came down with their full preloaded turn bars. We get turn rewound. We get our stuns on us. And here I basically choose to wipe. Then we come in with a heal. So I'm going to fast forward this part so you don't see the frustration that was coming to my face where I was just dying and I couldn't do anything. So right here, we end up loading back in. So we kind of did a burn on that portion. So that's where I'm saying this feels like a actual dark dimension as opposed to the pocket dimensions. My only critique is if they are saying that there's going to be special things happening, like the war packs, where if there's a war character on the other side of the field, they need to state that. The preloaded turn meters on top of that is just too much. As I mentioned, there were times where I would sit there for about 1 minute, letting the team take about 2 to 3 turns. I'm sitting there stunned, slowed, trauma, and I can't do anything, and that really wasn't fun, which I always was excited for this. This portion right here wasn't bad. There's 2 of the Captain Britons. I decided to go towards the Iron Patriot. Their Gores end up taking the counterattacks. He gets killed off. So this portion here was not terrible. Let me go ahead, fast forward to the next node, because I was able to clear that without really losing anybody. So this right here is interesting. We have 2 ancient ones. We have a Emma Frost X-Men. We have a Shadow King. We have a Morbius. I believe that's a Morbius in there. And 2 Black Knights. Now the positioning of it, I chose to go towards the side that had the Shadow King. And yeah, so I was doing a lot of control on that portion of the field. Using Omega Sentinel's ultimate does massive AoE damage, then followed by Nimrod's special. Again, does massive damage to the other side of the field. Now, the 2 Black Cats that came in, there's another Black Knight that comes in. And now we have 2 Robbies right here. Preloaded turn bar, they get bleeds on us. They go super fast. And there's also another Black Knight. And because we killed the Shadow King, that ancient one, and Emma Frost, one of those characters looks like Emma Frost has the possessed. And then there's the turn meter rewinds from the Black Cat. So this portion of the node was very difficult. I do end up wiping out here. I believe the Omega Sentinel does start taking out the Robbies that you see right here. So yeah, we got rid of the 1 Robbie. There's 2 Black Knights, 2 Black Cats. And there's going to be another drop coming down, I believe, or I will die at this point. There's the Robbie going. Yeah. Okay, so we did end up dying. We're on our 3rd full team heal at this point. Now here there is a red goblin that you see. There's a Black Cat, 2 Black Cats, 2 Black Knights at Emma Frost. There's going to be a 3rd Black Knight that comes down. And that part is very brutal, having to deal with 3 Black Knights casting taunt off to each other, so you can't really focus down any of the Black Knights that you really want to, because the other Black Knight will start taunting, then you have to jump over to the other one. It was a difficult time for this portion of the node. There are 6 characters left. I was able to make it through this part. However, I believe at this point, I do start messing up my cooldowns because I just wanted to get through this node. So you do have to be patient when you get into this portion of the node. So yeah, we're able to get through this side, and I'm gonna fast forward. So right here, I ended up making a mistake. The Scientist Supreme, I ended up burning her ultimate on the previous node. So as you see, my ultimate's not ready, and this is a hell node. There's 2 rogues, 2 Iron Patriots, 2 Cosmic Ghost Riders, 2 Kangs. I tried this one for a few times, and I had to basically burn this and try to pull as many abilities as I can. So Kang does a special, then it goes to Rogue, goes to the Cosmic Ghost Rider, goes to the other Kang, and I can't do anything at this point. So I just decide to wipe. If you get to this point, I would just recommend going in with a burn team, maybe your Superior 6 team, and then go in with the Orcus if you don't have Kahori or anything ready. This Frozen Dimension was geared towards Kahori is what I noticed, because her being able to do a damage hit to a controller followed by 2 turns, you can really get ahead of the enemy on there. This is the part I really got frustrated with. So let me get to here. So there's a Thanos endgame, 2 Ms. Marvel Hardlights, Void Knight, 2 Photons who's going to put blind on you, and those Man-Things. Those barriers took me forever to get through those. So I'm going to let this go. I'm going to keep talking so you can kind of see what's going on right here. So I got pulled together. I have trauma on one of the characters, but not the other. I tried to take out the Man-Things because the barriers that they kept popping on each other, I couldn't get through them. So I wanted, and because of the taunts, I had to try to focus one down. So there I was able to get Thanos to proc. And as you see right here, Thanos ended up proccing. He's just above 50% health. I wanted to get him back under 50% health, so I wasn't walking into another Thanos passive. There's going to be 2 Kangs and a Super Skrull right here, and 2 Lizards. They are not friendly for the characters they put on this Frozen Dimension, as you see. So there I end up wiping. We have 2 Man-Things, no taunts. I have a Thanos endgame, Super Skrull, and Kangs are going to drop down. Kangs do the turn meter rewind, and they have their preloaded turn meter as they come in. So I am able to get through this on this hit. However, it was very punishing, and I had to really figure out how to play this out, because I needed to kill these characters while not pushing the Super Skrull to take multiple turns in a row. I wanted to try to kill the Man-Thing off so I wasn't stuck on a taunt, and the barrier, they were like a #1 priority over the damage dealers because of that. The damage dealers, they don't do much. They just do death by 1,000 cuts, like I mentioned before. So there I was able to kill the Thanos, the Kangs. There's a Super Skrull and 2 Man-Things. The Man-Things do not go away. It's pretty brutal right here. I am able to get through this portion. I'm going to start fast forwarding this so you don't see me fighting a Man-Thing forever. And this is kind of crazy because I have this set to 300 times speed right now. So, okay, so here we got through the Super Skrull. We got through the Man-Thing. So this one here is a very difficult node. This is the second node for the 3rd section. So this is the last node you're going to be able to see me play on here. The following 2 nodes and the boss node. So the final 2 nodes do require 3 absolute A-Force, which I didn't want to use Kahori for people that didn't have her. And if I did use Kahori, she was going to be a 7/7, so it's not really sustainable, or it's not realistic for a lot of people because I don't even have a 7 red Kahori. But this node here, we spawn in, you see the turn meter they have. There's 2 Morgan Le Fays, 2 Eternals. We have Apocalypse and 2 Wongs on here. This one was very frustrating because of all the turn meter rewinds. So we have the Morgans. If they use their ultimates, if they don't flip anything, then they're going to end up doing turn meter rewind. Their specials do a turn meter rewind. The Eternals turn meter rewind. This was a very frustrating one. So this is going to be another one where you're going to want to sack it, try to pull as many abilities as you can, then go in with your team. As you see here, I'm currently sitting at 5 heals. Now I'm going to fast forward this a little bit here. So there I end up getting wiped out. Now we are at 6 heals. I killed one character. I killed a Wong due to the Omega Sentinel doing the retaliates. That's how I got the kill on there. Nimrod ended up doing the special. Lady Deathstrike does a special right there. I wanted to try to tunnel down the Apocalypse, so I wasn't really walking into another special or ultimate. I got the Icarus kill. I think I should have gone for the Morgan Le Fay's. All right, I need to talk about this part. This part is... It got me upsetting. So as you see right here, I do have a few buffs on me. I end up taking out those characters. I have a stealth, a defense up, and a immunity right here. This Ares, when they come in, they have their war buffs. So as soon as they spawn in, they take all the buffs that you have on your side of the field and pull it over to them. So now I have Ares that's fully souped up. I have 2 Morgan Le Fay's, 2 Green Goblin Classics. There's another Green Goblin Classic, so 3 Green Goblin Classics, 2 Morgan Le Fay's, an Ares, a Captain Britain, and a Hank Pym. I was not happy when that happened. That's where I was saying they need to choose what they're going to do. Are they going to be doing the war packs where they take all their war buffs, or are they going to be doing preloaded turn meter? Having those combined is way too much. It's not fun. At this point of my testing, I couldn't say anything. I was just, okay, I have to deal with this. I want to see if I can get through this and see how many heals it takes to actually clear the frozen dimension for you guys. So there I do end up getting wiped out. We load back in. We have the 2 Morgan still. We have the Captain Britain, 3 Green Goblin Classics, a Hank Pym. Ares is going to take all these buffs right off the bat. So he has his taunt, he has immunity, and safeguard that he stole from us right on the spot. So here, I believe I try and take out, I don't even know. I think I just aim for the Ares is who I end up going for here, just so I can try to do some splash damage to the Morgan Le Fay's. Yeah, you see all the negative effects that's on me. All I can do is bide my time and try to do as much AoE damage as I could, and then just try to delete them. The Sentinel ultimate actually was pretty impactful. It does a lot of damage. The Morgan Le Fay right here, she did some massive damage. However, the move that just deleted that side of the field was the Nimrod ultimate, I believe. So yeah, the Nimrod ultimate. So you see that they're pretty much at full health. So if Nimrod gets his turns off, he just deletes people. So I was able to get rid of a Morgan, a Ares, 2 Green Goblin Classics. So now we can start actually doing something. I need to try to take out that Morgan Le Fay, because if she gets her special off, she's doing another turn meter rewind. However, once we get rid of this Hank Pym right here, I'm going to pause it. Right now I'm just using my basics, trying to prepare for the next wave. So this wave right here, we have 2 Quicksilvers, we have the Eternals, we have 2 Wongs, 2 Ares, and you see all the buffs on here. I have some counters, defense up, deflex, regens, and that Ares just stole everything from me. And they have the preloaded turn meter, so again, I'm kind of at the mercy to where I'm just going to try to do the damage that I can. I'll wipe, I'll come back in, and then I'll clean it up. So this right here took me, I came in at 5 heals, then 6, then 7. I think this took me about 3 full team heals to try to get through this node. And I couldn't even do the last 2 nodes because it was saying to use 3 absolute A4. So that is what it is. I do hope that you guys were able to core or Kahori, look at the rewards, see if it's worth it to you guys. I'm hoping they try to change the frozen dimension to at least say on there war buffs are active. There's going to be preloaded turn meter. There's going to be like those pop-ups that they had in the dark dimension. I'm fine if this is intended to be like a dark dimension. If the time frame is sustainable to where people don't have to keep doing heals. If this took me about 8 heals or 7 or 8 heals to try to get through this, yeah, now there's apocalypse on this field. These nodes are crazy. If they actually gave us information as far as what to expect on here, then I would feel better about the frozen dimension. Give us this is supposed to feel like a dark dimension. You have 30 days to complete this. I would be fine with that because that's plenty of time for people to use their Orcus, not have to worry about healing up, and they can actually get those rewards and kind of enjoy it because it's a dark dimension experience and they don't feel like they have to one-shot everything. So hopefully you guys kind of are in the same boat as me. This node was crazy. So yeah, this one here, there's a Nightcrawler, there's 2 Forges, a Morgan, a Hank Pym, Captain Britain right here, and I believe that's a Dakin back there. So at least I can laugh about it at this point. I was not laughing at the time of recording this, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna let this keep playing. We have about a minute and a half left of this, so let me know in the comments section below. Are you happy as far as the gameplay footage I got for you guys? I hope I gave you a good expectation of what you can expect when you actually get into the frozen dimension later today. Now, if you did enjoy this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.